All right. Let's see. Three, two, one. Hey, good evening, everybody. We're back running solo tonight. Not, I don't know where everybody is. Everybody disappeared on me. But it's been a wild weekend. Did a lot of time with the son. Did a lot of time with the wife. Um, which kind of brings back when you're doing things with family. You got to realize that how much of a good time that you're having and how you're making memories. We went to Autobahn. People aren't familiar, that's the electric kart racing. And I have to admit, Gavin put the whooping on me twice. I got to laughing with a friend of mine about it, but uh, you know, first of all, the cars. Let's go to the carts. The carts are amazing. The first time I ever went to the carts, being electric power, you wouldn't think that they would be that fast, but they claim speeds to 50. I don't know if that's true, but I will tell you the course is set up right. Deep, hard switchback turns, a lot of fun, and this kid of mine, I like to think he gets it from me, but where he's been learning how to drive, I have no idea. I've been teaching him since he was little, but not race driving. But he slept me. He slept me on the first race. I thought I was good to go. I was running hard, running fast. Went a little wide on a turn. Pew, slid right in. Couldn't believe it. I was like, Jesus. And I just couldn't catch him. Couldn't win. And he beat me by half a second on that, and in racing a half a second's a long distance. Uh, you know, but what can I say? I have to give it up to him. Then we went to the second race. The second race was a lot of fun because I had it in my head. There's no way I'm gonna let him win. Period. It's a pride thing between a father and son. Dad's got to keep the kid down. The kid's always wanting to beat the dad. Just probably been that way since the beginning of time. Well, we left out. The track, first of all, was very kind of sparse of people. There wasn't a whole lot of people, which made it a lot more fun. And we took off, and I was first again, but there was two other people that ended up in this race. So I ended up with a little bit of traffic letting out, and I'd be damned if he didn't go around me somehow, my son, and he got way ahead of me. I had to beat through the pack a little bit to catch him. And again, I think I was within a second this time, but a second is a long way. Um, I was talking to a good friend of mine, Ryan, and he has a son whose son's a little bit older than mine, but and I was telling him about what happened, and he made a good point, and on maybe a scary point. Because I told him, I said, I don't know how he drove so well. I mean, I knew he could drive, drive a car, but he's not even 16 yet, and the way he whipped through there, and Ryan made the comment, uh, just makes you wonder what he's been out there doing. So watch your kids. You never know. You don't know what they're out there doing. Hopefully nothing too bad. The sweet and beautiful Amber, of course, she was racing with us, and if you check out the her Instagram page, she didn't fare as well that as she probably wanted to, and it was kind of funny because she drove in the race about like she drives everywhere else, cautious and out of the way. And she got the "you're going too damn slow, get to the left side" flag a few times. I think we lapped her twice in the first race. I don't think we had the opportunity to lap her in the second race. Maybe we lapped her once at the most. Again, we had more traffic in the second race, but bless her heart, I just don't know why she didn't just power through it. My son, egged her on. After the first race, he was trying to get her to go hard, and she just wouldn't break free. I don't know what was going on, but that was a lot of fun. If you're in the anywhere that has the kart races, I can't say just locally, but if you're anywhere that has the kart races, I highly suggest you try it. A little expensive for my taste, but I'm a cheap ass. Um, You got a few hidden fees, things like that. I wish they'd come down with, but all in all, great time. Plan on doing it again. Uh, just makes you wonder if you could ever do really good in real racing. You know what I'm saying? I know they had like the Talladega experience and all that good stuff. Next on my bucket list, I think. I got a few of you guys that listens have done it, suggested it. Love to do that. I'd like to push a car that fast. But it was, but it, what was funny though is just by happenstance, it wasn't planned, but we went and did the races, and then this week I watched Trading Paint, which is a movie out by John Travolta. Pretty good movie, but it was about a father and son racing. What do you think? Just coincidence maybe. Uh, just happened to catch it on Amazon Prime, which is a little glitchy in its own right. But while we were kart racing at the Autobahn, uh, I got to do or we got to do some axe throwing. I will say my son did a fantastic job at axe throwing. Um, Very proud of him, but he couldn't beat me. I had him whipped. I guess I can still whip him in combat, but auto racing he got me whooped this past weekend. But axe throwing, people talk about how there's a loss of masculinity in the United States, or in the world, if you will. But I tell you what, there's something about axe throwing. Axe throwing will get the blood pumping. I think that it should be a damn college sport. It's an awesome sport. I enjoyed it immensely. I've never done axe throwing, thrown knives, little kid. You throw throwing stars, you do all that stuff, but might have to have an axe throwing course in my backyard. Shouldn't be too expensive, but I think it'll be fun. Um, wouldn't suggest people drinking too much and doing it. Probably a little bit of liability there, but the beautiful sweet Amber, unfortunately, she just couldn't. She couldn't adapt to that axe throwing either. I mean, maybe she was just a little bit off that night. Uh, you know, she she had good form. She looked good. She threw it with power. Um, just couldn't. I don't know. Just couldn't stick it. Gavin, of course, got the little blue dots. For if you're not familiar, you got your bullseye that's in the middle, and then they have these little dots that are blue, probably about the size of a quarter, maybe a touch bigger, and they got them a little to the outside. So apparently, if you're keeping score and you're playing the games and all that good stuff, that is like better than a bullseye or more points or something. I don't know. Not very versed in it. I'm sure a few of you have people that have listened to it and done it probably know better than me, but he hit that a couple of times, so he was pretty proud. I did not. I'll give him that. I did not hit the blue dots. I can't remember if I really, really tried. I don't remember hitting the blue dot. Maybe I did. I'll have to ask my wife. My memory's not the greatest. We was having too much fun. But again, axe throwing, go kart racing, good for the testosterone. Maybe the estrogen for women. I don't know. But great to get your blood pumping. If you got young boys, even young girls that are into, you know, adrenaline junkies, if you will, I think it's just a good outing for all. And speaking of getting your ass kicked, uh, maybe when I think back, this weekend. I just didn't do my best on a couple of things. I invited a few people out to play pool. Um, Nobody really showed up. Not too many people. It was a little bit of a dead weekend. Saturday night, but I had a friend of ours show up, and maybe just underestimated a little bit about how good a player he was. Didn't really take it into account that he might have been a really good pool player. So he hmm, he really went through me on that one. I like to blame Amber because Amber doesn't like for me to practice pool because she says that that is her thing and that she does not want me to get better. But I think after this weekend, we're gonna have to do some negotiating. You know what I'm saying? So she's listening to this. Amber's listening to this. I gotta pick up my skill set level a little bit because it was quite embarrassing. Men, or let's say, I don't mind losing. I just don't want to be demolished. You know, and I think that's why, me, I practice whatever I'm into, and if I'm not good at it, at least I'd like to know going in. I did not realize how weak I had gotten at pool playing, so that is going to be my new thing I've got to step up. So if anybody's listening to this is in the local area, um, ready to knock the dust off, let me know. I need some good practice partners. So with that being said, every day is a great day, right? Listening to a little music, you start thinking about past events, past things like that. But you got to really think about how you're making memories today. You make memories with your children, you make memories with your spouse, your loved ones, your friends. And so, I think a lot of times we get caught up sitting at the house watching TV, sitting at the house playing on our phones, and we really, which don't get me wrong, I enjoy you guys listening to this. Hopefully, you're listening at work or during your travels and not listening to it when you could be hanging out with your buddies. Because as much fun as it is to hear my own voice, not the time when you got some friends, family, get good spend time with. Um, Speaking of, Club South is now a smoke-free facility. They skirted the law for as long as they can, or as long as they could, and so now we've been hanging out there and enjoying the lack of thick smoke from all the patrons. They now have to go outside. So if you're in the Birmingham local area, you should really give Club South a chance. Um, they revamped, they've changed some things. A lot of things are still the same. So it's still your local neighborhood bar. Um, so you should definitely come down and give the girls. You got Amber, you got Nicole, you got Patty. Um, a lot of love down there, a lot of love. And so basically, I didn't have a ton to do tonight. I know that we've been sparse, if you will, because of everybody's got things going on, traveling going on, work going on, different things like that. But I did want to just put something out because I feel like we just letting you down a little bit, and a couple of people's asked me what we've been up to. But I figured I'd share. I figured I'd share a couple of things. You know, racing, axe throwing, pool playing, get my ass kicked at that, get my ass kicked by my son. It's a sad day, very sad day, but a proud day. Kind of going full circle with that. You think that as a parent, whether it's a mother to a daughter, to a father to a son, whatever it is, you have to think that if you can make them better than you, it's almost like teaching jujitsu as well. There comes a point when you make them better than you that you feel like you've got a sense of accomplishment, like you've done what you're supposed to have done. Because it really would be a sad environment if if the family member ahead is always better than their offspring, their kids, because then we're not all getting better as a whole, right? So if they get better than us, can you imagine what two levels down is? You know, how good are they? You know, uh, are they as good as you are? Well, no, just kind of a mind teaser, something like that on a weekend night. But with that said, I'm going to leave you guys with a little bit of exit music, and hopefully next week we'll get back after it and see what we can accomplish. All right.